Hello, I'm Jeff Parsons with Stanley Community College, and welcome to Success Begins With Us, a show that highlights the positive stories of our students, local business, industry, and their impact in Stanley County. Each month, we plan to provide you, the viewer, with a greater understanding of how SCC contributes to the economic well-being of our county. Now, here's a story that I know you will enjoy.
Hello, I am Kim Lewis, Pharmacy Technology Program Head at Stanley Community College's School of Health and Public Services. It is my pleasure to introduce you to a wonderful example of our commitment to education with former SCC Pharmacy Technology student, Heather Birmingham. Welcome, Heather.
Hi, Kim.
Heather, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing today? Where are you working and what is your position?
Today I work at Moose Pharmacy of Locust as a pharmacy technician. I enjoy spending time outside of work with my wonderful husband, Shay, and my two beautiful sons, Bryson and Hunter.
Heather, you're a certified pharmacy technician. What is the process to becoming certified, and how did a degree from Stanley Community College help?
The process to become certified with the PTCB, the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board, is to have a high school diploma or its equivalent, pass criminal background checks and Board of Pharmacy background checks, and to take and pass the Pharmacy Technician Certification exam. The course work at Stanley Community College really prepared me to pass the certification exam. My understanding is that there are some changes coming to that. To take the exam, there will be changes coming up where you have to have a course in pharmacy technology to be able to even qualify to take the exam.
That's right. The Pharmacy Technician Certification Board announced earlier this year that in order to take the national certification exam, you have to complete a PTCB recognized program. And Stanley Community College does have a PTCB recognized program. So that is one major change that will go into effect January 1st, 2020, compared to whenever you took the test.
That's interesting. I think that's good. I think that people should be able to, or should not be able to, take the exam without having the background of a course that would prepare them for it. I think it will also save them time and money if they prepare ahead of time, and the coursework at Stanley Community College definitely helped me do that.
Can you tell us how you ended up in the pharmacy technology program at Stanley Community College?
Well, I ended up there by not being able to really find a career after being a stay-at-home mom for about 13 years. I had substitute taught and taught in preschool and volunteered and things, but I couldn't find a job. So I decided to go back to college, and Stanley Community College was the perfect fit.
Very good. How was your experience in the pharmacy technology program?
It was great. I love learning and I love math, so pharmacy technology was perfect for me. I enjoyed spending time with my fellow students and helping each other retain the information that we learned.
Good. How did your education prepare you for your position at Moose Pharmacy?
The education that I learned at Stanley was phenomenal. I never could have passed the board exam without having the knowledge that I gained at Stanley. I didn't know anything about allied health at all, really, other than taking care of kids at home. And so everything that I learned there just prepared me for the next step.
Great. What are your duties as a pharmacy technician?
Well, I work in a small pharmacy. There's only 3 employees at it, so I do just about everything in the pharmacy from start to finish. I can't check a prescription and dispense it completely to the patient, but I greet patients, help them with things over the counter, answer telephones, enter prescriptions, count prescriptions, label, stock, everything from start to finish for the pharmacy.
Very good. How did you get your job at Moose?
I got my job at Moose by going to a clinical rotation at Moose. I had a clinical rotation for hospital pharmacy, but I also had one for community pharmacy. And believe it or not, where I wanted to work was Moose Pharmacy. At the time, it was in Midland, and I live in Midland. So that was where I wanted to be when I started this whole journey. So when I did my clinical rotation, I was supposed to do it at another pharmacy, but it turned out that I ended up at Moose, and it was perfect. So
That's great.
at the time, I was at the Mount Pleasant location for Moose Pharmacy, and then I ended up being called back after I had completed my rotation. I got called back to for an interview, and they actually wanted me to go ahead and start full time then, and I was like, I'm in school and I'm going to finish this. I had quit college years ago and I was finishing this. This was going to happen. So they worked with me, and you also allowed me to do my second clinical rotation at Moose Pharmacy. So at the time I was working for them, and then I would be off the clock doing my clinical rotation, but it was a full day. So it was like I was working 8 to 5, but I was only on the clock for a portion of that time. So it all just worked out. It was all perfect.
That's great. How has your education at Stanley Community College and your job at Moose Pharmacy impacted your life?
I don't know I guess I would still be searching for a job if I hadn't gone to Stanley Community College, because being out of the workforce for 13 years, I just didn't have the connections to find a job, because that's part of it, is finding a connection, somebody to help you get in the door. And the clinical rotation allowed me to get my foot in the door, and they called me back and wanted me back after that clinical rotation. So if I hadn't have had a chance to do that, I don't know what I would be doing. Maybe I'd still be substitute teaching, but it all worked out perfectly. Like I said, I wanted to be in Midland, close to home, so I could still be there for my children. So everything just fell into place. It was like I started at Stanley, and each step just occurred along the way. The next step was the right step. So
That's great. What advice would you give to new students that are looking for a career in pharmacy technology?
if a student is passionate about helping others, pharmacy technology is a great fit for them. If they want to pursue something in allied health and they don't necessarily want to be with the bodily fluids and so on, that's part of the reason I chose pharmacy technology, is I wanted to be able to help others, but I didn't necessarily want to be a nurse. I didn't have that passion, but I do feel like I help people every day, and that's part of the reason that pharmacy technology is a good fit for me. So if that's their passion, pursue going back to school, go back to school, go to pharmacy technology course at Stanley, and everything that you've learned there, internalize it. Enjoy all the time that you spend on clinical rotations. Make connections.
Thanks, Heather, for all of that great information. Now to find out more about Moose Pharmacy, here is Joe Moose.
We've been in business since 1882, started by my great-grandfather in Mount Pleasant, North Carolina, and we've serviced the Stanley, Cabarrus County regions for over 135 years. And we've kind of had one common goal throughout that 135 plus year history, and that's to take care of the people who live in the communities that we serve. So that's what we can try to continually do. We do it in a way of more than just a transactional thing, so it's not about just selling you medicine and getting you out, but it's about taking care of your family, keeping your family healthy in our communities. You know, like I say, we've been in business a long time, and the role of everybody in our business has changed over the years. The bar has been raised in healthcare, and the bar has certainly been raised in pharmacy. And so as the pharmacist is asked to do more high-level things and more patient care type services, so are all the people in the pharmacy, from the technicians to the cashiers to everybody, to our community health worker individuals. So everybody has been raised. So the technicians' role today is so much more important and so much more expansive than it was even 10 years ago or 20 years ago, where it's more than just fulfilling that prescription and fulfilling that transaction, but it's about helping the pharmacy and helping the pharmacist coordinate the best care for that patient. Staffing the business has been difficult over the years because we want to draw from our community and the people who live in our community and know the residents of our community, but the education level and the demand on the technician has increased, and without Stanley putting these high quality individuals in the work pool for us, it takes a huge burden of training off of our shoulders and lets them kind of come out from day one with a skill set that is highly beneficial to the workflow of our business, highly beneficial to helping assist us and helping us take care of better patients in there. So as the bar has been increased for pharmacists, the bar has certainly been increased for the technicians too, and we need a technician with a skill set that's more than just kind of clerical duties, but a skill set that's tuned into pharmacy activities, community pharmacy related activities, and I think Stanley does an excellent job of preparing those candidates for employment here.
Thank you for taking the time to join us today. You've heard some wonderful examples of how SCC is impacting the lives of everyday people and the industries they serve. Stay tuned for further programming where we will share more exciting stories as success begins with us at Stanley Community College.